You are about to witness the very exciting story of a city and its people.
Welcome to motherfucking Detroit.
What up, though? Welcome to another episode of No Name Podcast. If you have not done it, go over to the YouTube page, IOW Sports. Hit that like button, bing. Hit that subscribe button, bang. Hit that notification button, bang. And you get everything that we upload, including we go live every Monday and Thursday from 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you'll get me, the fella over here to my left, and Wildcard Mar. And we will talk about everything sports. So we don't just do one particular sport. We do baseball, basketball, football, underwater basket weaving, but we are heavily on NFL. But we do talk about everything. So if you just want to chop it up about sports, come on over and you can chop it up with us about sports. But if you are a specific fan, we got my man, Big Homie Nick Shine. He is a Jets fan for some reason, and he has his own show. Proud Jets fan, you can check him out. And Wildcard Mar has the Wildcard Chief page if you're a Chief fan. But over here, we talk about everything Detroit Lions. And for today, you see we got another face on here. We had a Big Homie Nick Shine, and we're gonna talk about draft picks. What's up, Nick?
How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. We don't get a chance to get Nick on here too often. And he is our draft expert, our draft analyst. So I thought it'd be fitting since the draft is coming up. Getting closer and closer to the draft, man. I'm excited about the draft. Scared about who the Lions going to pick because what Brad Holmes had done, with the picks that he has in free agency, there's many ways he can go. So I thought I'd ask the Big Homie to come on. So without further ado, Nick, who you think the Lions going to take at number 6?
Like you said, the GM's done a very good job of positioning this team to have draft flexibility, right? He's not married to taking one position and reaching. I ran a little simulator here, and it had Bryce Young and CJ Stroud going 1-2.
Okay.
Got Will Anderson going 3. Let me turn that down. Sorry. Number 4, Anthony Richardson to the Colts.
Okay.
Number 5, Tyree Wilson to Seattle.
Okay.
So I think the Lions would be ecstatic at this situation. I think they might listen to offers for people coming up. Now there's rumors that they might take a quarterback. There's rumors that they might take Levis here and just sit him behind Goff for the next year or two. But you know me, I love defense.
Yes.
And in this league, when you can get to the quarterback and you can do it by sending 4, I think you can't look past them taking Jalen Carter in this situation. If Wilson and Anderson are both gone, that means that Jalen Carter is going to be there.
Right.
And I just think that Carter and Hutchinson together on that D line, number one, it makes your secondary better, right? You guys, you know this. I'm not saying nothing Lions fans don't know. You have trouble stopping teams.
Right.
So I think both 6 and 18, if you guys stay there and don't make a move, it's going to be defensive players.
Okay.
Your offense is good. You got St. Brown. You got an incredible line. You got a quarterback who fits well in the system that you're playing. Jameson Williams is coming back. He had a little bit of a taste of the NFL last year and should be fully healthy coming in this year.
Right.
So I don't think a wide receiver is an option here. Obviously, you're good at tackle.
Right.
I would, in this scenario, I can't pass on Jalen Carter for the Detroit Lions. There's no way that I can say to my fan base, we didn't take this guy. As a New York Jet fan,
right,
the biggest mistakes we ever made was taking Kyle Brady and letting Warren Sapp go, because Warren Sapp had the marijuana stuff going on.
Right.
We let Warren Sapp pass. So I think if there hasn't been any charges, I think it's all systems go. And then you go into the season with Jalen Carter and Hutchinson as the anchors of your D-line. And it's a division that's up for grabs, right? Like, I think Minnesota comes back down to earth. Mm-hmm. They're not going to go 10-1 in one-score games.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers should be here during the draft at some point, night 2. The Bears and the Lions should be competing for the division, and it's going to be crazy to see that, right? Like we haven't. It's going to go back to like 90s football a little bit. That was the Scott Mitchell days.
Scott Mitchell, wow. Here's what I say about that, because talent-wise, I love to see him. Love to see that, man. You pushing that middle. You moving Hutchinson up and down that line, coming from anywhere. Then you bring Houston in on third downs. And it's not like you have, like before when you have like a mediocre secondary. You wouldn't got a good secondary. So, I mean, it'll be hard to score on this team with Jalen Carter. I guess my reservations, for lack of better words, and kind of like I've been looking in the Lion community, is that because of how they preach this type, a certain type of player, and they preach about cultural fit. And I didn't care about, because I did a show about, a show episode about the charge. I didn't care about that, because to me, when you're that young, do a lot of stupid things. You and I can contest to that. Young age, did a lot of stupid things, So that didn't bother me. I guess what kind of bothered me, and it might have been more of his agent than him, was kind of like, when it's like, if you're not in the top 10, I'm not even going to talk to you. It's like, come on, bro. It's like you can't come in with that type of attitude. How's that going to work in a locker room where they got this family camaraderie? That's my only kind of caveat and hesitation about Jalen Carter. Talent-wise, no problem.
Yeah. I think if the, because they do incredible background checks and character checks. Mm-hmm. If that department gives the blessing, like if you become very good in the NFL, you need luck.
Yes.
Jalen Carter, the talent-wise, number one talent in this draft, falling to 6 would be in the good luck category, right?
Right.
That's the thing when you're going to an NFC championship in a year or two, you're like, I can't believe we got this guy. I can't believe this guy fell to 6. He's answered all the questions. He's an all-pro player in year 2 and 3. Him and Quinnen Williams are the best 2 defensive tackles in the NFL.
Right.
I can't believe he fell to 6.
Right.
Like, to me, for a team that hasn't had success, we say all the time on our IOW show, how similar both of our teams are. We've been down. We finally have competent regimes in. We're building it the right way. We're doing things, but you got to have some luck. And if Jalen Carter drops to 6, I think you take some phone calls to see what the offer is. But overall, I think the GM says we can't pass this talent at this position. Sure, maybe drafting a future QB would be nice with the luxury of 2 first-round picks.
Right.
But the state of your defense right now, you make a huge statement to your organization, and you go in the North, which is a gritty, old school conference, right?
Right.
You play in Lambeau, you play it at Soldier Field. You got to be tough. You got to be gritty. You got to collapse the pocket on fields. You got to be able to collapse the pocket against Love, who's going to be mobile as well.
Right.
I think it's a no-brainer, man. I can't see, as long as they check all the boxes with the character, you run that pick up to the freaking thing, man. You might not even take the calls.
Right.
All right, let's flip it.
Go ahead.
Carter's gone. Seattle takes Carter. Okay, we'll cover multiple scenarios since you're so high up in the draft. Right. Like Carter might be gone.
Okay.
I think you take Tyree Wilson, who you know from the IOW show is my favorite player in this draft.
Yes.
He plays the run better than Anderson. He's more physical. He's bigger. You put Hutchinson and Wilson on that D line. Now you have two alpha dogs that you have to worry about. Who are you going to double?
Right.
Who are you going to chip? They're year one, year two. You have something to build upon. And I think it's got to be D-line here. I know you guys have issues on the back end, but when you look at how the Giants won the Super Bowl, you look at how Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, the Giants beating the Patriots twice.
Right.
You get home with 4. When you get home with 4, nobody can even name the starters in the Giants secondary in those 2 Super Bowls because it was all about the D-line.
Right.
When you have to cover for a second and a half or 2 seconds instead of 4.5, you're so much better at your job.
I agree.
You have that luxury of the 18 pick where you could still go get a 3rd or 4th rated corner in the draft.
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be D-line, man. I think that building a ferocious front 4 will be the type of football Campbell wants to play.
And I agree with you on that one. I want this pick because I hear a lot of mocks out there talking about taking Witherspoon. I like Witherspoon. Don't get me wrong. I like Witherspoon. But I think D-line is where I would like to see him go first pick. I like some of the pieces they have, but they're not elite. You know what I'm saying? Hutchinson has the potential, but we don't know what Pascal going to be. He was hurt, throughout last year. He only came in a couple of games. Kaminsky's a good piece to play behind, but he's not elite.
Yeah.
Okora, he don't stay healthy. So we can go down the line. Charles Harris, he wasn't healthy. So my thing is, you get an 2 elite defensive ends, and you have some good backups behind them. You can sub in and out, and constantly keep pressure on quarterbacks. And like you said, that secondary, that to me, that helps the linebacker issue because you can play the nickel all the time and bring in Johnson with the rest of the ones you draft and Kirby Joseph. Now you got that one extra back plays the linebacker position basically.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that extra help.
100%.
So I like that.
And you got 2 big, smart, physical guys playing the edge. So if you play someone like Justin Fields and they try a little RPO, you play the Eagles in the playoffs and they're trying the RPO, you got Wilson and Hutch on the edges in this scenario.
Right.
So I think if you don't have number 18, it's Witherspoon or Gonzalez.
Right.
Easy. No brainer. But I think overall as an organization, you're better off with Carter or Wilson and the 3rd cornerback than you are with Witherspoon and say Van Ness from Iowa.
Right.
You put in Joey Porter or Cam Smith. We'll get to the 18th pick in a second. You want to roll into it right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Since you brought it, go ahead and roll into it.
Yeah. When I started dropping names, let me resume the rest of this. Let me pause draft. Let me draft Carter here for you, and then that'll resume. And now when you're looking at the cornerbacks, Witherspoon went 10 in this. Sim. Christian Gonzalez went 14. So let's look at the board. Joey Porter's there. Calais Ringo is there. Deonte Banks is there from Maryland.
Yeah. Who you take? Because here's the thing. I like Joey Porter Jr. But I like my man out of Maryland because he's almost like a Witherspoon Jr. He's tough. He's the type of player the Lions need. I don't know, man. Porter seems to have, maybe on paper, the better skill set. But I don't know why I can't think of a man's name for Maryland. What's his name again for Maryland?
Oh, Maryland is Banks. Deonte
Banks. I like Banks. Because I think culture-wise, he fits better. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
I find it very hard that the Steelers pass up on Porter. I think unless one of the linemen fall that are unexpected, I think just they take, you have the father who's is a legendary Steeler. But on that note, if they don't, for some reason, he's there, I want the kid who's got the NFL pedigree. I want the kid who's got the father who's outspoken and not afraid to say what he thinks and did the tough parenting and taught you how to be a pro and knows where you're getting it at work and you're getting it at home. You're getting the support from your father on how to deal with being a rookie in the NFL. Granted, it's different positions, but the adaptation and the learning the league. Listen, my kid makes the NFL. I can only talk about in theory. I don't know what goes on in the locker room. I don't know how to deal with a coach if there's an issue or something I want to bring up. Joey Porter has that. That's a huge check in the character box. Is you're not only getting the player, you're getting the player, and you're getting the veteran, retired vet who can help teach your son and help evolve him, and he could probably hit the ground running quickly. Now, it's no knock on anyone else, about their character or anything like that. But I mean, it's not a major deciding factor. But I mean, it doesn't hurt that he has that info and he's got that resource in his dad and his dad's friends, Right. So, I mean, for me, I like Joe. If Witherspoon and Gonzalez are gone, Porter's my 3. So it's not anything against Smith or Banks. Right. There's other guys in the draft who will hit. But if you come out of this draft with Carter/Wilson and then Porter/Banks or Smith, that is a massive, massive hit.
I agree.
And you're not trading up for anybody. Now, who knows? Lions last year went from 32 to 11, 12 to get Jameson, even though he was injured. So they have balls. The Lions have balls to make a move. If they like somebody, they're going to jump if they like someone. If they want to go get Gonzalez or Witherspoon, if come 11, 12, 13 with the Jets, I think 13 at the Jets would be a great place. You come up and get a corner ahead of the Patriots. We slide back and still take an offensive lineman. So I wouldn't be shocked if you guys jump because you have a guy rated. Say, I'm just going to throw out numbers for argument's sake. Say Witherspoon's at 96.6. Gonzalez is 96.2. And then there's a drop to 93, 92 for Porter. Don't be surprised if the Lions go and jump for one of those guys. And it would be a huge, huge grab for them, right? Like you're bringing in 2 franchise-altering defenders. Like last year, the Jets had 4 and 11. We got Gardner and Garrett Wilson. Both won the Rookie of the Year for offense and defense. You might have the 2 guys on Detroit fighting for Defensive Rookie of the Year with how impactful they can be. Because the edge rusher or the D lineman, you got Hutchinson already. That's going to be the guy. And now you can grow, learn, and not be expected to put up what he's going to. Like Hutchinson, the last 5-6 games of last year was one of the top edge rushers in the NFL. He was getting interceptions. He was forcing fumbles. He was getting sacks. He was making game-changing plays. He's going to be a superstar. Now you possibly add somebody to match that on the other side, and then come playoff time after 17 games, he's basically a second-year player now with the reps that he'll get.
That's true.
Now you got the back end too. Your linebackers can run around free, make plays. Like I think it takes Detroit, who, if they hit these 2 picks, man, they could be a top 3 team in the NFC behind the Niners and the Eagles. You got to beat out Seattle. I think Lions and Seattle are fighting for 3 and 4 in the conference right now.
Let me run, before we get out here, let me run something by you because I've been hearing a lot of this too. The Lions have, I want to say 9 picks. 8 to 9 picks. Let me say that. I can't remember the exact number. I want to say it's 9, but I may be off by 1.
You got multiple 1s, multiple 3s.
You got a 5 when they trade.
I think multiple 5s or 6s. Yeah, I was looking at it today before we came on.
So
don't be surprised.
I hear a lot of people. Go ahead. What you about to say? Because you might.
That's ammunition, right? That's the capital. Like if you want Gonzalez or Witherspoon, you can jump. You got the ammunition, and it doesn't hurt you with those extra picks from the Ram trade and the Okudah move.
But here's because a lot of people are saying, hey, if you draft all, say it's 9, you draft all 9 people. All 9 people are not gonna make the roster because it's too deep now. So package some of those picks and get 4 good players or 4 to 5 good players and to be done with it. What do you think about that?
I have no issue with it. I think you guys are that close where if you get your defense to be middle of the pack with that offense, you're going to be in a fantastic situation.
Right.
Just think, like, how many games did you give up drives in the second half where your defense just wasn't deep enough? You go add 2 marquee players to this defense, and then you get some mid-round guys. Maybe a linebacker comes in and contributes, or you draft an interior offensive lineman for depth. Well, you never can have too many of those guys, right?
Right.
Or a guy who could play guard center in case someone goes down.
Right.
I like it. I really like the way the Lions position themselves. I'm trying to pull up the draft value chart now. I had it earlier, just to throw out some ideas of what they could do. But like you said, like, you're in a position now where you're on the brink of taking over the division. You should, in my opinion, you should. I think they're favorites to take the division over.
Yeah, and then another thing that been going around was at 18 drafting Bijan Robinson.
I don't think he's there. I think Philly takes him at 10.
Yeah.
I think if you're Philadelphia and you have that bonus pick, I think Philly takes him at 10, and you run that RPO with Hurts and Robinson now instead of Sanders and Gainwell.
That's nice.
That's behind that line.
That's nice.
I think Philly would be asinine. I'm against taking a running back in the first round. But when you just made it to the Super Bowl and you have a second first round pick, it's a bonus pick.
Oh, yeah.
You take him there, and now you complete your offense. You have 2 1s, 2 2s, a 3, 2 5s, 2 6s.
Okay.
So, for argument's sake, to move up to the Jets at 13 is $11.50. So you could take number 18, which is 900, your third rounder, which is 185, and then throw in like a 5 this year and a 5 next year, and then you're able to move up to 13. You jump New England, you jump Green Bay, Washington, and Pitt, all teams that might take a corner. So Vegas, I don't see taking a corner.
No.
Atlanta, I would be shocked. I think they take Jackson Smith-Njigba, the wide receiver from Ohio State.
Right.
At 9, I think the Bears go offensive line, unless Carter is there for some reason.
Yes, Carter there, yeah.
Yeah, I think, imagine if you're the Bears and you trade back to 9 and you still get Carter. Like, that would be like the luck that is just remarkable, because people were saying take Carter at 1. Philly, I think they take the running back. Tennessee, I could see going O-line. Houston, I mean, they could take a receiver. They could go. They have so many needs, right? So they're a question mark. That could be a position where they trade out of. Maybe they don't like the value of 12. Like 12 and 13, I think, is a sweet spot for Detroit to jump up to be completely honest, because the teams slide down. They don't slide down too far.
Right.
I think you guys are in a great situation. I think, Houston having 2 picks, Seattle having 2 picks, you guys having 2 picks, the Jets with the potential trade for Aaron Rodgers. I think those are the 4 big stories. Philadelphia having 2 picks as well. I think those are the real big stories, like, coming up for the draft. Like, you know how much I love the draft. Like, I love the draft, man. I love it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I get like teary-eyed when I watch the guys celebrate with their family, because as a coach, I've coached the kids from second grade up to 8th grade. I know what it's like to have those kids see that, and they all talk about it being their dream. And I was at Fox and the Hound in Edison, New Jersey years ago, when Rutgers offensive lineman Anthony Davis was drafted by the Niners at number 10 overall. I was 20 feet away from him and saw him get the phone call, like in the private room in the back. Like, to watch that and see that and experience that, grown man tears in my eyes, man. It's beautiful to like see that, like, all the hard work that goes into it. Because I see the hard work that goes into it for kids who never have a chance to make it. Right. The 19th kid on a 22-person team coming to practice early, staying late, asking what he can do. To put all that work in and get there, man, the draft is one of the most beautiful things in sports for me as a fan. Call it corny, call it whatever you want, but I love it. I love it too. And the Jets have just been so bad, like, in the regular season. Like, this is the time to enjoy. You can't lose a game. That's how you get excited again. All undefeated.
Last thing before we get out of here. What makes you? What do you think makes the NFL draft more superior than other drafts? Before you answer that, I'm gonna say this. I did used to enjoy the NBA's draft. I don't enjoy it anymore.
You know,
I always like NFL, but
you know
I don't
why?
like it. Why? Why is that?
Because the NBA, with the one and done, you don't get a chance very often to appreciate the 4-year player like Tim Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to see the guy like Peyton Manning staying a 4th year.
Right.
Because he didn't want to go to the Jets. Like, the Jets had the number 1 pick, and Manning said, I'm going back to school instead.
Right.
Fucking Peyton Manning. I think with the NBA, you draft more on hope. Hoping a guy fills out, hoping a guy's jump shot. You draft on athleticism. You draft on the size. In the NFL, you've watched these guys dominate in the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12. You've watched them play elite football at a high level.
Right.
And for the most part, a lot of guys, position of need. There's so many more positions in football too, where it's more intriguing. And like you see now the mock drafts, like we're small potatoes, but even us doing it becomes like a thing where people love and enjoy, like when we do it and we discuss it. You know, basketball season's going on, baseball season's going on, the college tournament was going on, and we're like still squeezing in football talk. Like football is just God in America. I know, like the old timers, and one of our buddies, very good friend of our show, viewer, is a baseball fanatic.
Yeah, he is.
But it can't hold the torch to what football does and how it captivates, because less is more, right?
Right.
If you played 20 games in Major League Baseball, or say you played 30 games and you played every team once, it would be massive. But when you have 162, it's watered down. And I think the uniqueness of football and as much as some of us, you and I, right at the top of that list, the Jaguars, the Browns, franchises that have been laughed at and tortured for so long, starting to become relevant and starting to say we're a player or two away from really competing in the conference. I mean, it's like the ultimate optimist, like being a football fan. Like, there are the football fans who are, oh damn, I'm down, but you know what? They're still watching the draft. They're still checking their phones to see what free agency did. Even when they're the Debbie Downer, oh shucks, here we go again. They can't not care because it's such a powerful impact. It's fun. It's my favorite sport. You know, I almost eye roll when we talk basketball and baseball, and I used to love college basketball, but now just the way the NFL is and structured, I mean, as much as fans hate Roger Goodell, you got to do this to him because he's made it a 12-month sport. Yeah, the combine is nationally televised. People are paying
that right there, bro,
for the NFL pass to get more access to the combine. Free agencies in March. The draft is in April. In May you have teams starting their OTAs, and June you have more of that.
You got the rookies
never ending.
After the rookies, by the time it's August preseason, then you into the season again.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that people go out and buy rookie jerseys before the guy even hits the field just shows the optimistic part of being a fan of your team. You're hoping to be able to say, this guy was a Hall of Famer. I had his jersey from day one.
Right.
Like it's beautiful, man. It's the best sport. It's just, I don't care how corny it sounds, man. It's the best way to summarize it.
Hey man, I'm with you though. I love football, always have, played football. It's just something about it, man. And I think the way the NFL does it, marketing wise, everything, they have it down pat. And now you look at it now, they're going to London, Germany, Mexico. They spreading worldwide. Yeah. And you gotta love it, man. But anyway,
why is the World Cup so great? Happens once every 4 years. The scarcity of it makes you appreciate it more. Like if the Yankees get beat by the Red Sox 20-0 in the 13th week of the season, it doesn't mean shit in baseball. Now, if the Lions lose a game to the Packers in the 13th week, it could be the difference in making the playoffs. or not, or winning the division or not.
Right.
So it's less is more, man. And I think the NFL's capitalized on that. All the other sports get watered down.
I agree. But there y'all have it. Big homie Nick Shine, our draft analyst expert. You know, like I said, you can catch him on Proud Jets Fans. And if you follow him, he be on all the Jets programs. So I'm sure you'll see him pop up somewhere else too. Don't forget.
We actually have, if you don't mind if I plug this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tonight, 8:00 on the Buffalo Jet Fan channel on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There's 7 of us who have divvied up teams, and we're doing a full 42 picks, because we project 43 is going to be traded for Rodgers. So we're going to go up to the Jets pick at 42. So no matter what team you have, we have that covered tonight. It should be a lot of fun. Buffalo Jet Fan has like almost 10,000 followers, so it should be a huge chat going on.
Right.
But yeah, check that out if you get time. It'll be a good time.
There I have it. And then, y'all can catch us every Monday and Thursday live 4 p.m. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like buttons. We're trying to build the likes. You know how YouTube is. YouTube want these likes to go up. So we got to ask for the likes. You know, it's kind of like the Girl Scouts selling cookies on the corner. You got to, we're in front of Walmart asking for likes.
Great analogy, because it happens for 1 month a year.
1 month a year.
Scarcity makes it that much better. Like if those were available in September, you'd be like, I ain't wasting my money on that. Oh, it's 4 weeks? Here, take $30.
Let me get 5.
Right, and if you disagree with anything I said, comment, tell Mel, join the show, tell him, say this guy was an idiot, I disagree with this or that.
Yeah, I disagree with him all the time, so it's no big deal.
Notice when he described everything about me, he never said friend.
See how that works? But anyway, we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem, man. Appreciate you, man.